Hi there, Psychic Cynthia again. Welcome back. Welcome back to your level 1 Awakening Your Inner Psychic video class series. And we're still rolling with the lower chakras tonight, okay? Remember, this is a subsystem within the larger chakra system. And tonight we come up to the crown. Not the crown chakra, but the crown of the lower chakras. And that would be the solar plexus. The solar plexus chakra is extremely important for those of us who are on the path of awakening and working with the inner psyche. This is a gold energy or a yellow. Really, we see a lot more gold up around the crown, but gold is also part of the solar plexus energy. It can be, or just a nice lemon yellow or a golden yellow, halfway between gold and yellow. Really, if you could just look at the sun, which you're not supposed to do directly, so kind of look at it indirectly. But the idea of the beautiful sun, that is representative accurately of your solar plexus chakra. And that is what the solar plexus is in your system. It is the solar energy of your system. This is the place where your will force is located. Your personal will, I should say. As we get up into some of the higher chakras, and especially the crown, we deal with divine will. And that is different. But you do need your personal will to exist well on this plane and even to be balanced as a psychic. In a way, you can think of the solar plexus as containing some of the ego energies, but not in a negative sense, okay? More in the sense of, while you're here on this earth plane and maybe beyond, you have a personality, right? You have traits that are uniquely you. You have preferences, your will, your desire. The entire lower chakra system relates to your will and your desire. And then the solar plexus chakra is the master of that, okay? This is the part of you where you have the energy and the impetus to go out there and make some goal manifest, okay? It is your willpower. And a lot of people are walking around with closed down or blocked solar plexuses. One way you can tell that there is a blockage, probably in your solar plexus, but somewhere at least in the lower chakras, but is if you find yourself saying yes to request a lot of times when you really don't want to, but just because you don't want to say no. So do you find yourself saying yes when you really don't want to? Do you find yourself saying yes so much to others, but you're not saying yes to yourself, right? And so you're drained. Are you easily led? Are you easily influenced by others? Probably the answer is going to be yes if you're psychic. I mean, I don't mean to sound negative, but the thing is, we are sensitive, we are open, right? A lot of psychics don't have very strong solar plexus chakras. We are very receptive and very open to influences. We don't always do so good at resisting influences. And this is an area that most are going to need to work on when they come to this path, especially if you are naturally psychically open in a dramatic way. Now, if you're just coming to this path for the first time and you are having challenges opening, then maybe you don't have to worry about your solar plexus being strong and open. Maybe you already have that. The thing about the solar plexus, it's our defender. It's your defense system. It's also your BS detector. When something just doesn't feel right, you feel it in that upper gut. You're like, that doesn't feel right. That's your solar plexus. It has an intelligence of its own. And by the way, the yellow of it represents the mind. It represents the mental body, your ability to think and to reason for yourself in a logical way, to make decisions. I mean, the root might give you the action and the desire, the will to live, but the solar plexus is about something more, the will to create, to desire, to do your own path. And And then if you find that others are trying to influence you in a way that you don't want to go, that's a solar plexus issue, okay? And especially if you keep saying yes when you really mean no or want to mean no, that's a solar plexus issue. Now, with any of these chakras, I should mention here that it's entirely possible that you could have the reverse of a block. In other words, you can have an overactive solar plexus chakra. And some people do, okay? You could also have an overactive sacral chakra, an overactive root chakra. So that's why, we're not just working on strengthening, we're working on balancing. Most psychic types that I work with do not have an overactive solar plexus chakra. I want you to know that's not common for people on this path to come to it with an overactive. It's usually more of a watered down or a blocked or a sore. It's a sore little solar plexus from saying yes when you really mean no, okay? Or not following your dreams, for example, not living your dreams, even though you know what they are, but you didn't do it, okay? These are examples of some solar plexus issues. And what I would like to just invite you to do with all of the, same as with all of the chakras, is just to tune into the color energy of it and to breathe into it. And with this one, I want you to actually imagine the sun. I want you to see the golden sun and grow that light and let it expand out into your entire aura. And by the way, I'm going, in a sort of flat design here with my hands, but it's more like this. It's everywhere, okay? And if I could turn upside down, I would, right? So it's going everywhere, all around. And you see how as I'm gesturing, and by the way, movement opens all these chakras. So can you feel that coming across in the video? How me just thinking right now about my own solar plexus and your solar plexus, and I'm thinking about how we're expanding out together. Wow, can't you feel the vibration lifting in this video? My light is coming through stronger. Seriously, it can happen that fast. What was that, like 30 seconds? I don't know, a minute? Okay, so maybe if you're willing, to do this and you don't mind getting a little silly, maybe you can try doing some of those hand gestures and moving, just imagining and lining up your movements with your mind. And yeah, kick the leg up if you can. I mean, honestly, if you're in a cast or something, don't do that. But and actually, you could stand up and kick around some, and that would be even better. I'm afraid that I'll kick the camera, so I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. So that's your solar plexus energy. It's also very psychic center because it allows us to send energy, to project, and it is very much involved in telepathy. When you're building your shielded protection, you want to build and shield from your solar plexus. Unfortunately, what a lot of people do when they feel they need protection is they build heart walls. The heart is intended to be inclusive and to love and to merge, not to defend or have walls. And we're going to talk about that in the next video, but something to check for. And I think one thing to help work in this issue is simply to start strengthening that solar plexus, sending light, imagining the sun. Can you imagine, because the sun is one of the symbols, can you see how being in the sunlight also activates it? All of these lower chakras, the entire system is activated by sunlight. It's going to strengthen that so much. And by the way, if you have any physical health issues, if your health is impaired in any way, in any part of the body, if you are struggling with your physical health, you need to work in the lower chakras. I am not messing around. That is going to be a very important part of it. And maybe you need to work in some other chakras too, depending on the location of some of your symptoms. But if you'll work in the lower chakras, especially with that color orange or yellow, these are colors the angels use a lot for healing. And even if you don't know yet much about working with your angels, you can just think, angels, I'm calling on you, healing angels, and then visualize those colors and let them infuse you and uplift you. So red it can be good. Red can inflame though, so you have to be careful with that. If you have physical health issues, you might want to concentrate more on the orange and yellow, okay, because those are lighter colors. But red does get things moving fast, and if you're cold, that's a good color to visualize. So that's a little bit of a side. I mean, this is not a healing with color course, but I do want you to know that if you have physical health issues, you need to work in the lower chakras. We need to do it anyway, though, for our psychic development. So your assignment is, I think, pretty obvious. Tune into that solar plexus chakra. And maybe, just maybe, ask yourself, have you been saying yes when you really mean no? When are you going to start saying yes to you, dear one? That's the solar plexus chakra $1,000,000 question. Until next time, bright blessings, dear one.